In that moment, everything froze. Time seemed to stop. And that's when all hell broke loose. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Hidden Love Stories. What happens when a marriage dies not with a bang, but with silent, creeping neglect? When a woman starts to feel invisible in her own home? Today's story is a cautionary tale about how loneliness can create a dangerous void and what happens when an unexpected temptation walks in to fill it. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button because this one will take your breath away. I was 38, but time had been fair to me. Regular workouts and a healthy lifestyle kept me looking young and attractive. My husband, Robert, always told me how beautiful I was, but with how little time he spent at home because of his job, I'd sometimes forget he even said it. That morning, Robert had left early for work. The house was quiet, and I loved these peaceful moments when I could focus on myself. I decided to take a shower. The relaxing effect of the warm water always did me good. I went into the bathroom, put a face mask on, and stepped into the shower. When I got out, I put on my favorite red lingerie. Red had always made me feel powerful and sexy. While I dried my hair with a towel, I looked at myself in the bathroom mirror. A thought crossed my mind. Robert would have missed seeing me like this. At that moment, I had completely forgotten about Leo's presence. Robert's son had come back home after a rough patch, but I still wasn't used to him being there. The sound of the door suddenly opening shook me out of my thoughts. Leo! I almost screamed. Leo was standing at the door, trying to avoid eye contact while processing the situation. Sophia, I'm sorry, I saw the door was open. I was going to get in the shower. His voice was shaky and embarrassed. We locked eyes, and the weight of that moment settled over me. My hand instinctively reached for the towel, but it was already too late. Leo's face was bright red, and my whole body was filled with an odd electricity. Leo, have you never heard of knocking? I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Yeah, sorry, he said, and quickly closed the door. But what was done was done. Those few seconds had shattered the routine of my life. This had to be an accident, right? But why was my heart beating so fast? Leo seeing me like that had sparked a strange excitement inside me. I was embarrassed, but at the same time, I kind of liked it. My mind kept replaying the moment, and the way Leo had looked at me. I looked at myself in the mirror, my red lingerie clinging to my body. Even at 38, the years had treated me well. My body was firm, my skin was smooth. And as I looked at myself, I thought about that watchful look in Leo's eyes. I wondered how he really saw me. Then the voice of guilt crept in. Robert. He was 47, a successful businessman, and my husband. He worked so much that he didn't have time for me. Was our marriage really happy, or had I just gotten used to the loneliness? Lately, Robert seemed to have lost interest in me entirely. I tried to fix it, but the old warmth was gone. It was just another routine evening. Robert came home, we had dinner. Nothing different, but then he said that one sentence. We're going to a party tomorrow, he said. At that moment, it felt like exactly what I needed. A party, a great opportunity to be with Robert, to get his attention, to create a little excitement. But then Leo stepped in. I have a flight tomorrow evening, he said. I'm going to visit a friend. You two go to the party alone. Have you ever felt completely invisible to the one person who is supposed to see you most? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Hidden Love Stories. I had my chance to go to the party, but Robert's eyes still had that distance. Still, I wanted to show him I cared, so I got dressed up. I put on a red form-fitting elegant dress, did my makeup, and styled my hair, all just to impress Robert, but things didn't go as planned. After the party, no matter how good I looked, I didn't get that night alone with him. He used a business meeting as an excuse to go out with his friends, leaving me alone at home. I was alone again. Alone. Something inside me broke. When I got home, I was drunk and lonely. When I went upstairs and took off my clothes, the only thing that caught my attention was that after all that preparation, I was left in just my black lace underwear. My frustration grew. The red dress, the makeup, everything was for nothing. I felt empty. I needed to do something to get through this night. I decided to head to the kitchen. Maybe a drink, maybe a cigarette. I went to the fridge, poured some alcohol into a glass, then pulled out a pack of cigarettes and lit one. The smoke made my throat feel strangely worn out. Tonight felt like everything had come to a halt. At that moment, something unexpected happened. I heard a footstep, and my eyes immediately shot to the kitchen door. Leo was home. His flight had been canceled. And now here we were, face to face in the kitchen. I was standing there in my black lace lingerie, and that's how he found me. "I'm sorry, Leo," I said, my voice trembling a bit. "I didn't know you were here." I lowered my head, trying not to make eye contact. But Leo, without seeming surprised at all, calmly stepped closer. There was something in his eyes that shifted. He paused for a moment, then slowly asked, "Why are you crying, Sophia? Why are you so upset?" His voice was different than usual. This time it sounded more sincere, more affected. His eyes seemed like they were seeing straight into my soul. As he stepped closer, he smiled. But it wasn't just a smile on his face. It was in his eyes too. My mind was a whirlwind because I could feel in that moment he wasn't just affecting me physically, but emotionally as well. The confusion inside me deepened. Tears quickly started to fall from my eyes as Leo got closer. He softly said, "Sophia, do you know how beautiful you are? I've noticed how Robert hasn't been able to give you enough attention because of his work," he continued. "But you're really special and beautiful, and you deserve to have this night." His words comforted me, but my feelings still weren't settling. Leo's eyes were so deep that I felt myself getting lost in them. In that moment, my mind seemed to freeze, and slowly I took another step toward him. Then everything happened in an instant. The inner conflict I was feeling mixed with the overwhelming desire to kiss him. In a moment of impulse, I kissed Leo. It happened so quickly, I hadn't even prepared myself for it. My eyes closed, and as my lips met his, time seemed to stop. The warmth I felt, the rapid beating of my heart, and the tension in his body, all of these made me forget everything in an instant. His hand slid to my waist, the distance between us disappearing completely. All the complex emotions inside me instantly shifted into a rush of desire. Quickly, we moved from the kitchen toward the living room, our lips never parting. Somehow, we found ourselves on the couch, side by side, breathless. I opened my eyes and looked at him, noticing how quickly everything had escalated. "Sophia, what happened? Why did we do this?" he asked. I didn't know what to say, but I had to say something. "It just happened in the heat of the moment," I said, my eyes shifting to him. "I don't know. I just wanted to let out the feelings inside me." Leo nodded and slid his hand through my hair. "Is it really wrong for us to get this close?" he asked. His hands were on my waist, his fingers wandering over my body. He took a deep breath and leaned in, opening up. "I had been betrayed, Sophia. I was going through a really tough time, but right now I feel completely different," he said. "I feel so close to you." "I was alone, Leo," I said, my voice trembling. "I was really alone, but right now everything is so different. For the first time I feel young, excited, and lost. I feel like something is changing. Just then the door opened. A voice came. Sophia. Robert walked in through the door, his eyes wide in shock as he saw us both. In that moment, everything froze. Time seemed to stop. Robert was trying to figure out what was going on between us, shock and anger all over his face, and that's when all hell broke loose. "What the hell is going on here?" he said, his voice rough and angry. The sound was so loud it felt like it was shaking the walls. He turned to Leo, pointing at him with shaking hands. "Get the hell out of here. You don't belong in this house anymore," he said. "She's my wife." "She's your mother. You shouldn't have dragged her into this." I was in such shock I couldn't say anything. My eyes were welling up, but I didn't cry. Robert was blaming me, making everything feel like it was my fault. "Why, Sophia? Why the hell did you do this?" Robert kept going. "You looked me in the eye and lied." That's all I felt, broken inside. Then Robert shouted, "Get out! There's no place for you two in this house anymore." He was pushing us out the door. Leo and I locked eyes. We didn't say a word, but we both knew how mixed up we felt. "Let's go," Leo calmly said. I nodded. As we stepped outside, the tears just wouldn't stop. The guilt I felt inside was too big for crying to even help. My head was spinning. Everything had happened so fast. I'd acted without thinking, and now I was lost in this mess. This story is a bitter reminder that neglect in a relationship can be as damaging as infidelity. It creates a vacuum where unexpected and dangerous emotions can rush in. When we feel invisible and unappreciated, we can make choices in desperation that will alter our lives forever, leaving a path of destruction in their wake. If you've made it this far, I know you're hooked on the story. Don't forget to hit the follow button for hidden love stories, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. I'm very curious to hear your